VPN не верифікований. Да, ну паспорт підтягується, тобто стріляє. BankID стріляє, а VPN не верифікований і права не підтягуються.
І права, і паспорт.
Good afternoon. Hello and welcome to all joining us now. My name is Olga Tamanova and I'm happy to welcome you to Media Center, Ukraine Media Center. And today is 578th day since the enemy has started invading our land. And traditionally, I would like to thank all of the representatives of the media who highlight the truth and shed light on our fight against the enemy. Today, we have invited you to a very important event because today we are presenting a new service for the Ukrainians, and it is to be presented by the Ministry of Digital Transformation and the Deposit Guarantee Fund. So we will talk about this new service in greater detail with our speakers. Today we have Svitlana Rekrut, Managing Director of the Individual Deposit Guarantee Fund, and also Mykhailo Fedorov, Deputy Prime Minister of Ukraine for Innovation, Development of Education, Science and Technology, Minister of Digital Transformation of Ukraine. Hello and welcome. So, Madam Svitlana, let's talk about the service. Hello, and I would immediately like to start by saying that today it's an incredibly important event and a date for us because joining payments to e-platform Diia is yet another step undertaken by the fund and the state for the depositors to feel protected and for their money to be secured and easily attainable in just one click. For 25 years now, the Guarantee Fund has been paying and recompensing for the deposits lost at the bankrupt banks, and more than 2 million people in Ukraine have been reimbursed their money because hundreds of banks have gone bankrupt, and the money that needs to be recompensed is 103 billion hryvnias at the moment. And in this time, the Deposit Guarantee Fund has gone a very interesting way, all the way from paper registers, and I remember when rooms and rooms were occupied with papers, all the way to the opportunity to obtain your money in just a couple of clicks. And this is a very good illustration, not only to how IT, financial system, and the fund are developing, but also a very nice illustration of the development of our state, particularly so during the time of war, when all of us have to stand strong, be progressive, and united. I have my presentation, so let me just show it to you. During the full-scale invasion, this has been the second step undertaken for the depositors to feel more secured and protected in order to ease their lives for them. In April last year, first we introduced such an online service via agent banks meant for an individual in any corner of the world. Particularly, this is important when people are migrating, which is happening during the war, and these individuals can get this money back in their accounts just due to telephone calls. But now telephone calls are going to be redundant. All you will have to have is your gadget, Diia application, and with the help of those, you will be guaranteed to obtain your money, to get your money back. Now we have three options available. The first one being to come to the nearest bank. You don't have to file any applications. All you have to do is just to bring your code and a code with you, come to the nearest agent bank branch. Second, it's also possible to reach out and for this service remotely. With the help of a telephone call, you make an order, and then again on the Diia application, you will obtain your money without actually leaving your home, being present in any corner of the world. And our main objective, as I usually repeat it, is to make sure that our users are protected. And we must remember that right now in Ukraine, in action is a 100 guarantee for people's deposits. And if banks go bankrupt, people are guaranteed 100% money back. So this is the news. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Mykhailo. Let's talk about the technicality of this. How will that be implemented? Good afternoon, everyone. Can I please have my presentation on? Yes, our technical team will present it to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for your attention. Today is really a very important event for us because we are launching our project, which will enable the Ukrainians to get their money when their banks went bankrupt. Why is this important? Because there is a huge amount of money, and this money is obtainable, owed to Ukrainians, and this money can be obtainable. And now it's guaranteed for a great number of people. Let me say a couple of words in the first place about what is being done by our ministry. In terms of the digital state development, nearly 20 million users are already on our mobile application, and we keep working very actively despite the war. So Diia is in security. Nearly every month we launch new services, and we work on some virtually stock new developments like Diia Office. We are also developing Diia Military together with the MOD. There are some other stages of the development for our product. And before the end of this year, we will have launched a couple other new services meant for our nationals. Something that we have done in 1.5 years, a variety of different services ranging from e-Osela, e-household, or e-housing, where a lot of people were able to reach out for mortgages to buy housing, and this has changed the mortgage market. This has brought with it new flows, simplified and streamlined services. Husbands and wives in a family can obtain these services, and the husbands, if they serve in the army, they can put their signatures remotely. This is e-support during evacuation, e-recovery, which is also tremendously important during the time of war, and we are paying money with the help of that, meant for the citizens whose property has been partially or completely destroyed, and multitude of other services. Today we are presenting the service of recompensing for the people who have lost their deposits. So we can see that this is 1.4 million accounts of the Ukrainians in the bankrupt banks. 3.2 billion is the overall amount of money for more than 100 different Ukrainian banks that have gone bankrupt. Everything is very simple. A couple of clicks, money will be obtainable on your e-support, e-Pitrimka verified virtual cards. Now let's watch a short video. It's very important to share this information with our fellow citizens, to get this information across to them so that they understand that this information is there. Hello, we are in a hurry to inform you about very important news. Together with the Individual Guaranteed Fund, we are presenting a new service. If you have lost your money, you can apply on Diia portal, and it works just like that. Within 3 days, you will get your money in your virtual account. The money will be yours, and you can use it whatever way you want. So first, you have to apply on Diia, open services, deposit guaranteed. If you have had your money in several banks, then you will have to apply several applications. Next, to issue you with e-support, e-Pitrimka card, unless you have it. If you don't have it, that you can very easily open this card in one of the agent banks. Your money will come to it, and the last step is to leave your contact details and to approve the final without any queues, without having to go to branch banks. So we continue our work for the quick interaction with the state. So banks participating in this program provide us with the opportunity. You can go to these banks directly. There is an offline service. People can use their gadgets, they can use their telephones, go through special additional verifications, and you can see the banks, partner banks, and they will guarantee the return of the deposits. This is very brief description because basically the service is very brief. That's exactly what we were after. This is due to our engineering service. A lot of bureaucracy has been simplified for our citizens, and I want to thank the fund. Thank you for getting transformed digitally within, making sure that the citizens without can obtain a cool and awesome service. Thank you very much. And I immediately have a question. The number of the bankrupt banks, you said, Ms. Svitlana, that there are about 100. But during the presentation, we saw 34 banks. So what is doable with reference to the other banks? 100 bankrupt banks since 2014. But luckily, the liquidation of these banks, for the majority of them, has already been over. But for the 34 bankrupt banks, the depositors are still getting their money. So this is something which we are planning to do within the foreseeable 2 years. So the people who haven't obtained their deposits, even according to the old bankruptcies, can also take advantage of Diia portal, and in a couple of clicks, they will get their money back. So at the start, we immediately foresee all of the banks. So concerning the partner banks, is the list going to be extended? The partner banks are shaped given the readiness of the bank to join this program. And we go through the network financial situation and the IT preparedness of the banks in a very rigorous fashion. So any banks willing can join this program. And we do these selections once every 3 months on a quarterly basis. But if you can see it from the list, these are the largest banks, including state-owned ones. So these are the most reliable ones. These banks have also some state-owned property. Thank you very much for your answers. So dear journalists, if you have any questions, fire away. Yulia Abakumova, Ukrinform. What are the safeguards intended in order to avoid any kinds of misunderstandings or fraud, if you like, if people file their applications via Diia portal? And then I will ask one more question, if I may. Fraud is virtually impossible. Why? Because if a depositor files an application, then very quickly online, all of this information is verified with the basis of all of the banks concerned, whether or not there are any accounts in the banks concerned. And then with the help of Diia portal, we verify the identity of the person. Therefore, we require passport and tax code details. And if you have this card, the e-card of Diia, then it's much easier. We have been doing this for quite some time. Right now, all of this has been done on the basis of the agent banks, so the scheme is very close to what's been done for years now. So this online is immediately online, verified with our databases. That's why we are not expecting any cases of fraud, and people can rest assured of that. And you also mentioned that via Diia, all citizens of Ukraine can apply, whether they are in Ukraine or abroad. What if these people are in the Russian Federation at the moment? We are not going to pay deposits to the Russian Federation citizens. This has been the decision taken by the Security and Defense Council, and the same goes for the citizens of Belarus. So if their money has been blocked, it is not available even for databases for verification purposes. I have a clarification. So are there any limitations in terms of the amount? No limitations at the moment. Be mindful that a year ago, at the initiative of the president, our guarantee was increased to 100%, including the interest on the deposits. So based on this initiative, we have been paying, according to 7 banks. The rest of them, they will be paid within the limit of 200,000, the amount which was in place at the time of the bank's insolvency. Dear colleagues, if there are any more questions, you're welcome. Igor Bondarenko, 1+1. When does this program start? And you said 1.4 million accounts. So that's 1.4 million people, right? Or have I misunderstood it? Yes, you're absolutely right. This service is already available. Fantastic. We have one more question at the back. Thank you. Alexander Karamushka, 5th channel. Could you kindly repeat? Because on the screen I saw a girl presenting the process of how people can file applications. Ms. Svitlana and Mr. Mykhailo, can you kindly repeat it for us, for journalists, so that we can record it, spoken by you? That'll be much better. Okay, let me turn it on so that you can also take pictures. All you have to do is to get authorized on Diia portal, click on services. After that, select the service, return of the deposits. After that, select the bank where you used to have your account, where you have your account. Then if it's several banks, then first you have to obtain the service according to one bank, and then you will have to do it repeatedly for the rest of the bank accounts. Then automatically on eDiia, e-support card will be selected for you, and you choose which card you would like to have it. If you don't have it, that in the partner banks, in a couple of clicks, you can open this card. This has been processed via other services, and it works very well due to other services availability. You write your application, and within 3 work days, you will obtain your money on this card. And then you can use this money without any limitations or restrictions, as unfortunately it sometimes happens in different projects, the kind of e-recovery. Here, you can utilize this money whichever way you like. If the system incorrectly represents the information, where shall we go? Yes, there is a support service on eDiia, which has already processed all possible questions, and it is ready to work together with the fund and go through any difficulties that might occur. Dear colleagues, are there any more questions? I have some questions on interest rates or commission. Is there going to be any fee charged? No, no charge. No fee is charged, as it usually happens on donations or e-services. This time, no fees charged. Thank you very much indeed for your work, for the services that right now are obtainable for the Ukrainians. Dear colleagues, thank you for your interest expressed in this topic. We're always happy to see you here, so please do stay with us, and we keep working for the sake of our victory. We thank our forces of defense and security, and glory to Ukraine, glory to its heroes. Thank you for the attention.